In the days of Saturn, I believe, chastity still lingered on the earth, and was to be seen for a time. Days when men were poorly housed in chilly caves, when one common shelter enclosed hearth and household gods, herds and their owners, when the hell-bred wife spread her sylvan bed with leaves and straw and the skins of her neighbors the wild beasts. A wife not like to thee, O Cynthia, nor to thee, Lesbia, whose bright eyes were clouded by a sparrow's death, but one whose breasts gave suck to lusty babes, often more unkempt herself than her acorn-belching spouse. For in those days, when the world was young, and the skies were new, men born of the riven oak, or formed of dust, lived differently from now, and had no parents of their own. Under Jove, perchance, some few traces of ancient modesty may have survived, but that was before he had grown his beard, before the Greeks had learned to swear by someone else's head, when men feared not thieves for their cabbages or apples, and lived with unwalled gardens. After that Astrea withdrew by degrees to heaven, with Chastity as her comrade, the two sisters taking flight together. Then Eppia, the senator's wife, ran off with a gladiator to Pharos and the Nile, and the ill-famed city of Lagos, Canopus itself cried shame upon the monstrous morals of our town. Forgetful of home, of husband and of sister, without thought of her country, she shamelessly abandoned her weeping children, and more marvelous still, deserted Paris and the games. Though born in wealth, though as a babe she had slept in a bedizened cradle on the paternal down, she made light of the sea, just as she had long made light of her good name. A loss but little accounted of among our soft litter-riding dames. And so with stout heart she endured the tossing and the roaring of the Tyrrhenian and Ionian seas, and all the many seas she had to cross. For when danger comes in a right and honorable way, a woman's heart grows chill with fear. She cannot stand upon her trembling feet, but if she be doing a bold, bad thing, her courage fails not. For a husband to order his wife on board ship is cruelty, the bilge water then sickens her, the heavens go round and round. But if she is running away with a lover, she feels no qualms. Then she pukes over her husband, now she messes with the sailors, she roams about the deck, and delights in hauling at the hard ropes. Do the concerns of a private household and the doings of Eppia affect you? Then look at those who rival the gods and hear what Claudius endured. As soon as his wife perceived that her husband was asleep, this august harlot was shameless enough to prefer a common mat to the imperial couch. Assuming a night-gown and attended by a single maid, she issued forth. Then, having concealed her raven locks under a light-colored peroque, she took her place in a brothel reeking with long-used coverlets. Entering an empty cell reserved for herself, she there took her stand under the feigned name of Lysiska, her nipples bare and gilded and exposed to view the womb that bore the nobly born Britannicus. Here she graciously received all comers, asking from each his fee, and when at length the keeper dismissed the rest, she remained to the very last before closing her cell, and with passion still raging hot within her went sorrowfully away. Then, exhausted but unsatisfied, with soiled cheeks, and begrimed with the smoke of lamps, she took back to the imperial pillow all the odd hours of the stews. Why tell of love potions and incantations, of poisons brewed and administered to stepsons, or of the grosser crimes to which women are driven by the imperious power of sex? Their sins of lust are the least of all their sins. A wife hates the children of a concubine, let none demur or forbid, seeing that it has long been deemed right and proper to slay a stepson. But I warn you, wards, you that of a good estate, keep watch over your lives, trust not a single dish. Those hot cakes are black with poison of a mother's baking. Whatever is offered you by the mother, let someone taste it first, let your trembling tutor take the first taste of every cup. Now think you that all this is a fancy tale, and that our satire is taking to herself the high heels of tragedy? Think you that I have outstepped the limits and the laws of those before me, and am mouthing in Sophoclean tones a grand theme unknown to the Rhodolian hills and the skies of Latium? Would indeed that my words were idle. But here is Pontia proclaiming I did the deed, I gave aconite, I confess it, to my own children. The crime was detected, and is known to all. Yes, with my own hands I did it. What, you most savage of vipers? You killed 2, did you, 2, at a single meal? I, and 7 too, had their chance to be 7 to kill.